So you can feel it, it's a first class of the Python programming language. So if you're not aware of any coding knowledge before it, no worry, we'll start it from here itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I already told you, so for working with Python programming language, so I'm gonna use the Anaconda Navigator. So make sure that you can try to go for download the Anaconda Navigator in your computer. So the way of installation, it could be very simple. So you just go and type the Anaconda. It is. So you just go and type the Anaconda. So in the first URL, it could be Anaconda. And so here we have options. So free download. So just click on the free download. So then you can able to download here. So once downloadation is done, then we can double click on it to go on the next. Automatically Anaconda Navigator could install in your machine. Okay. So once Anaconda software has been installed in your system, then the next thing is that you need to go for open the Jupyter notebook. Actually, you don't need to go for open the Anaconda Navigator for for opening the Jupyter notebook. Directly we can open the Jupyter notebook from here itself. Okay. Yes. So if you open the Jupyter notebook, it will take some time. Scottic. So it was selecting, the Google Chrome. Then you need to go for your specific location where you want to be save your Python file. So I choose, I choose the desktop, and top of the desktop, I would like to go for creating the new folder. For creating the new folder, so here we have a new option, right? So here we have a new option. If you click on the new option, you will have various options are there: Python 3, text file, folder, and terminal. So click on the folder, then the folder it it was created. So I want to rename this particular folder. Then here we have option select a box is there. You can select this particular box, and now here we have an option is rename option. If you click on the rename option, so you can able to modify the name of the folder. So I would like to talk about Python programming language, right? So that I can say it's a Python programs. So this is the folder. It is created on top of my desktop. Okay, this is my folder actually. Okay, so inside of the folder, I want to be go for creating the Python files. So just click on the Python programs. So if you click on the Python programs, then here we have an option. Again, new is there. So you can create the new Python file. So if you click on the Python 3, it was selecting or it was creating the new untitled file. So you can save that name of the file. And if you just click on the name of the file, so you will get an option is for rename that particular notebook. So this is for introduction to Jupyter notebook. Okay. So I'm not talking about Python program. I'm not talking about Python programming language. I'm talking about the, just Jupyter notebook. So this is one Jupyter notebook actually. Okay. So basically the Jupyter notebook file extension is .ipynb. So the file extension of any Jupyter file, no, you can just see here, it is ipynb, right? So any Jupyter file, the extension is ipynb. So what is the abbreviation for IPYNB, Jaipal? So it's interactive. PY means Python,
Python notebook.
NB means notebook, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So that exactly the abbreviation for IPYNB. Interactive means what exactly the interactive? Interactive means you just write the program here itself and we can execute the entire program here itself. And again, we can go for the next couple of statements. Okay. I mean, you can go for the next task also. For example, here I want to be write some program. So the program, it could able to go for printing the hello. So this is print statement, which is printing on screen. Okay, what it is printing here, it is printing the hello. And for example, I would like to go for printing the hi, and I decided that I would like to go for print the bye. Okay, these are the three statements program I've written in this particular cell. And here we have an option for run option. If you click on the run option, then you will get the output here itself. Okay, again we will get the one more cell. So this way, in this particular cell also, we can able to write one more program. And here I'm writing some program, a equal to 12 and b equal to 23. That means a is storing 12 and b is storing 23. Then I would like to go for printing the a plus b. A plus b means it's addition of two numbers, right? And the meanwhile, you would like to go for write one more statement, a minus b. This is subtraction of the a and b, right? So, this is some set of program. You can just feel that, this is one set of program or set of, this is one task actually. This is one task actually, okay? So you can write your logic and we can execute. You will get the output here itself. And again, we have an option for to write the one more task and we can execute, and you will be getting the output here itself. So this kind of mode of operation, generally it's something like, interaction, right? It's a very interactive with your Python, right? So generally in any programming language, so we might have some kind of IDE. There you can write the program and we can execute that entire program. Then you will get the output of that particular entire program. And if you want to write one more statements, again we need to go for creating some new file, and again we can write some kind of new instructions, and again we can execute. Then you will be getting output, right? So there, if you want to write some piece of code every time, we are creating some new files. But in case of Jupyter Notebook, so that kind of thing we don't need to worry about actually. So you just go and write some piece of code and you will be getting you just go and execute here itself and go for the some another cell, and again we can write some piece of code and we can execute it. So this is the one beneficiary with the help of the interactive Python notebook. Clear? Any questions? So make sure that whenever I'm executing the statements in my own computer, and try to be open your Jupyter Notebook and your PC, and we can try to be executed. If you're getting any kind of error, you can ask me, then I can solve it that moment itself. Okay. Yep. So I hope you understood. So this is the two things are, it's a code, right? You're writing the code and we're executing it. See, and meanwhile, here we are getting one more cell, right? Again, within the cell also we can write the code. But now I decided that I don't want to write the code here. I want to write some kind of document. I want to give some kind of text actually. I want to give some kind of description what I'm doing here. Okay. So for that one, yeah, for that one, so here we have an option for code option, and we can select the heading. So heading means we're writing some heading. Okay. This is heading. Heading means some bold and little bit of okay, boldness we have it. Okay. So for example, again we can click on the heading and we can write the two hashes. So if we return the two hashes, then this is also heading, but the heading length, it could be changed. This is also heading. Okay. See, so this is also heading, but the heading, it was the size, it was little bit reduced, right? And again we can have the three hashes, and here we have an option for code, and so here we can use the three hashes. This is also heading, but here the size, it was reducing. So in generally in HTML, so H1, H2, H3, H4, something like that, right? So there the heading size we can reduce with help of the 3 hash. If you're increasing the some number of hashes, then automatically the heading size it can be reduced. And for example, I'm just selecting the markdown, then we can write the some kind of paragraphs. So this is not the heading. This is not heading. It could be something like document. This is document mode. Document mode. That means document mode means we can write some kind of description. So it's something like notes, right? So this way we can able to write the notes and we can write the code and you can execute the code here itself and you will be getting output here itself. Okay. So this way the Jupyter notebooks help you a lot for understanding your Python programs, for writing these simple Python statements and simple tasks. So that is the reason we are going to be using the Jupyter notebook in this particular sessions. Clear, Jaipal? Jaipal Garu, is it clear?
Yes, yeah. Good.
Nitin?
Yeah.
Cool enough. And now I'm deeping into the Python programming language. I hope everyone is understood what exactly the Jupyter notebook. Here we have various options are there. We can download the files and we can print and we can download with the different file formats. We can download as the PDF format. We can download as the Jupyter file format. We can download as the HTML file format and various, we can download as the Python file format, py file. Py means Python file. Okay. So we can download in a different formats actually. Okay. Like we can copy the cells, we can paste the cells, and we can delete the cells, we can creating the cells. So with help of these symbols, we can perform some kind of things actually. Okay. Now I'm going to the Python programming language. So you can go on with you just go on the any programming language. For example, if you are using the Java programming language, if you have already knowledge in C++, if you have a knowledge in C programming language, okay. So what is program? What is program? Program means it's a collection of statements, right? What is mean that program? What is mean that program? Program means it's a collection of statements, right? So, program is not only a collection of statements actually, it might be collection of some kind of instructions also, or else some kind of comments. Okay. So generally the program, it could contains the two things. One is comments and statements, or else instead of writing the statements and comments in different words, we can call it as simply instructions. Okay. Simply collection of instructions to performing the tasks that we are calling it's a program, right? So generally in any programming language, what is instruction? Instructions means a line of code in a program. A line of code, anything in a line. So whatever the program we written it, so each and every line, it could be an instruction only. A line of code in a program that we are calling it say instruction. Basically in Python programming language also, we do have the two kind of instructions. So one is the statements. What it is? Statements. And second one is the comments. So Nitin, tell me what is the difference between the statements and comments? Nitin? Nitin, can you hear me? Hello? Nitin, are you there?
He's unmute.
Yeah. I'm there. Sorry.
Yeah. What is the difference between the comments and statements generally in any programming language? So why I'm asking actually, so you have some kind of knowledge in Java programming language, right? That's the reason I'm asking this question to you.
Yeah. For comments, it's basically like you can it will be for our own idea, like you just describe your things in that.
Yes, describe the code or else functions.
Yeah.
The program, so we can describe about the code, we can describe about functions, and we can describe anything in a program, right?
Yeah.
So if you're describing, then it could be easy to understand some new beginner, or else, someone is open your program. He is not a coder. Okay. So you just open the program, you can read that particular description, and he can understood, right? Without, knowledge of that particular programming language, right? So that is the purpose of the comments actually. Okay. That is the purpose of comments. So this comments, it won't be executable. So basically comments are not executable. So whatever you're writing, that it cannot be executable, right? Not executable. Okay. So statements means whatever you written in a program, that it could be executable part. So whatever it could be executable, that we are calling it say statements. Whatever which is not executable, that we are calling it say comments. Generally, the statements and comments could be implemented by the programmer only. The reason why we should use the comments, it's just to understand your program. It's just to understand your functions. It's just to understand some piece of code. That is the purpose. We can use comments, and so the comments we can write in a different ways again. So in Python programming language, so the comments we can implement it in a two ways. So one is single hash character. So the line which is started with a single hash, that kind of line we can call it as the single line comment. Single line comment. That means we can comment only one line at a time. That we are calling it a single line comment. And for example, multi-line comment in the sense we can comment multiple lines at a time. Multi-line comments in the sense we can comment multiple lines. See here, this all the lines which are commented, right? How it was commented? So inside of the triple quotes in Python programming language, inside of the triple quote, whatever you're returning, that it could not be executable. So in Python programming language, so if you started with a hash character, it is commenting only single line. Something we written multiple lines within the triple quote, this all the lines which are not executable. Okay. And now I'm just writing a small program, print hello. So print hello is the statement actually. So why it is statement which is executable, right? So it is printing hello on screen. So it was executed so that we got an output. See? And before these lines and before this line, so nothing, these all the lines are not executable, right? Any question regarding about statements and comments in Python programming language? So from the 1 to 10 lines, which are comments, which are not executable, so that we are not getting any kind of output. But when coming to the 11th line, so here we are having only one statement, and which is print statement. The purpose of the print statement is to printing the something on screen. Okay. So here we are printing some text. The text is here, hello. So if you're okay with this particular, if you understood these lines, then I can go ahead with the next one. Jaypal Garu, is it fine for you?
Yes.
Jagadish, Karthik, Madhavi, Satya, Nitin, Ram.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay, cool enough. So if you want to be execute in your system, you can execute right away, or else we can take the screenshot and we can execute after the session as well. Okay. Now, the next one is, so in any programming language, we can consider any programming language, Python or C, Java, whatever it is. Okay. In any programming language, generally, it could have some kind of words. So there are two type of words in Python programming language as well. Okay, in Java also you might have the two different words. What are those words? The first one is the free defined words. Free defined words. Second one is programmer defined words. Okay. So generally, these predefined words which are available in Python, which are already available. Okay, whatever the words which are already available, in Python programming language. So those words we are calling it say predefined words. Generally, we have a name is keywords. Okay, keywords means it's a predefined words. The Python programming language also having some set of keywords. I can list the all the keywords. Okay. And the second one is that, programmer defined words, which means programmer can define his own purpose. Okay. For his purpose. Is it clear? Is it clear or not? So generally the name of the predefined programmer defined words are the identifiers. Okay. So let's talk about the keywords and let's talk about the identifiers. Okay. So first we'll talk about the keywords. Keywords means you already know that the words which are already defined in your Python programming language. What is the purpose? We are already defined some words. Maybe each and every word, it could have its own specific functionality. Okay. So I can tell you one keyword actually. Import itself, it's one keyword. With help of the import keyword, we can import all the libraries or packages. We can importing into a program, something like, header files, right? We can importing into the program. So we can importing the libraries. Okay, we can import the libraries into a program. So if you want to import any libraries into your program, then we can use the keyword is import keyword. Okay. For example, math is my module. So inside of the math module, we might have various functions are available. For example, factorial is one function. Factorial is one function. Simply we can import the math module and math.factorial of 5, then it will be returns the 120. So basically factorial function which is not available. So I'm just trying to be go for using the directly factorial function. Whether I'm getting the error or not, we'll see. See, here I'm getting an error. The error is name error. So we are not having any kind of factorial function. So but factorial function which is available in math module. So that I'm importing the math module first, then with help of the math dot and factorial, then I'm giving some kind of input, and then we are getting the output over here. Okay. So this way, this is the one task that is the one functionality. The functionality of the import is for importing some kind of libraries into the program. Okay. Like that, here we have some kind of keywords are there. And for example, if and here I have some kind of condition is, for example, 10 less than 20. This condition is true, then I would like to go for performing one particular task actually. So for example, I can print the hello. Okay. See here, if is the keyword, the functionality of the keyword is checking this condition. If this condition is true, then what the statements we're returning inside of this particular block, that it could be executable. Okay. Same thing I'm writing, but this time the condition was false. If the condition is false, the statements what we have inside of the if block, it won't execute actually. Okay. See, here also the code is same and here also the code is same, but the condition was changed. So here the condition is false and here the condition is true. See, here what I'm trying to tell you actually, don't worry about the syntax and everything. Just try to be understood actually. So there we could have some kind of predefined name. Here is if is the one predefined name. So here is the if is the one predefined name. Here import is the one predefined name. Like that, we have various predefined names are there, which are available in your Python programming language. So that all words, each and every word, it having its own functionality. Okay. So that all the functionalities we'll discuss in upcoming sessions. But this particular point, I would like to list all the keywords are available in our Python programming language. All the keywords are available in one of the library. The name of the library is the keyword library. Inside of the keyword library, we have the KW list is there. KW list. KW means keyword list. So these are all the keywords. False, none, true, as a set, asynchronous, await, break, class, continue. Like that, we have various keywords are there. Okay. I want to find how many number of keywords are there. Simply, I can use this some predefined function. The name of the function is length function. With help of the length function, I can list all the number of keywords in your Python programming language. There are 35 keywords are there. There are 35 keywords are there in your Python 3 programming language. Is it clear? So don't worry, what is the importance, what is the use of each and every keyword? Definitely we'll talk about this, all the keywords in upcoming sessions. And for example, if I'm considering the control statements, in control statements, we do have some kind of control keywords are there. If, else, elif, while, for, in. So these are the keywords of the, control statements, break and continue. And for example, when you're talking about models and packages, import, as, from, those are the keywords. When I'm talking about functions, def, lambda, these are the concepts actually. Functions is one concept. So whenever the Python functions concepts comes, then I can introduce some keywords. Whenever Python control, Python control concept is comes, then I would like to explain, I would like to introduce some keywords. So depends upon the topic. I can introduce keywords. These all 35 keywords will learn this entire course. Don't worry about it. Clear?
Mhm.
So even you don't need to by heart these keywords. Don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. This is about keywords, and the keyword simply each and every keyword it having its own functionality. That's it. Okay. Oh, what? Oh. Cool enough. Now, I'm talking about the identifiers. Very, very important, guys. If you are a beginner, then it could be very important. If you have a knowledge, you might be getting some kind of boring. Don't worry. So here identifier means the name identifier. Identifier means what? To identify. Identifier means what? What is the purpose of identifier? To identify the anything, to identify the functions, anything in the sense here functions. Okay. To identify the functions or else variables and classes and objects with names. Okay. So basically identifiers means, so which are the words actually, which are user defined words. Okay. The names are words. It could help you to identify the functions, variables and classes and object with some names. Okay. So these names are the programmer defined names. That is the purpose identifiers are needed for us. Okay. So when we decided to use the word identifiers for the function names and variable names and classes names and object names, there we do have some kind of terms and conditions are there. Before discussing about the the limitations and everything, I can create some names. For example, here where is one name. So here I'm storing some data. So here I'm storing 34 into the var variable. Okay. Now for example, I'm using the some digit also, var3 equal to 45. Here also I'm not getting any kind of error. Okay. And I use some kind of underscore also. So here also I'm not getting any kind of error. So see, if it is the error, then what happens? It is showing directly something like red name color. In the color red color, it will showing some kind of name error or value error, syntax error. So you will be getting that kind of errors actually. Okay. So here we are not getting any kind of errors, right? So for example, if I start with some kind of digit, then if I'm storing some values, 456, then you will be getting syntax error. So see here, it's a syntax error, right? And I used some kind of some special character. So this time also we got a syntax error. And here we have some kind of keywords, right? I'm using any one of the keyword. So I'm using the global keyword. So I'm using the global as a keyword. So this global keyword I'm trying to be using as a variable. Then here also we got the syntax error. Okay. So that means when you decided to give the names for variables, or when you decided to give the names for functions and classes and object, make sure that we need to follow some kind of rules. What are the rules? Nitin, tell me, what are the rules of the identifiers?
I don't remember actually.
So just now I showed you some lot of examples. So the rules, the rules of the identifier is we can use alphabets. Okay. So here I'm trying to be using the alphabets, right? So here I'm using the alphabet, and here I'm using the numerical also. Okay. So I can use the alphabets and the numericals. Numerical means numbers. You can use the numbers, and we can use underscore. Underscore means shift with minus. So when I'm using this three, I'm not getting any kind of error. I'm using only alphabets. I'm not getting any kind of error. I'm using the alphabets as well as number. Even though I couldn't get any kind of error, here I'm using the underscore also, even though I'm not getting any kind of error. But when I started with the number, see, the first letter is number, right? When I started with the number, then I'm getting the syntax error. And when I'm using some special character, that time also I got the syntax error. And when I'm using these some keywords, that time also I'm getting some kind of errors, right? So simply what I'm trying to tell you, so second rule is don't start with a digit. Okay, digits. What is third one?
No keywords.
Don't use predefined words. That means keywords. What is fourth one? Don't use special characters except underscore.
Yeah.
Okay, special characters. Something like this. Okay. See, you have to remember these rules when you're giving the names of the identifiers, functions, and classes and objects. Okay. So why we are getting error? Because we are not following these rules, so that we are getting the syntax errors. Okay. So we can start with underscore. That's not a problem. We can use digits, and we can use any wherever you want to use the digit. That's not a big deal. Okay. So even we can print it, and you will be getting output correct only. So copy and paste here. We can run it. We are getting 34, right? So we are not getting any kind of error. The reason is that we are following the rules of the identifier, so that we are not getting any kind of error. Okay. I hope you clear about keywords, identifiers, statements, comments, and Jupyter interaction. If you have any kind of question so far, please ask me. The reason is that I'm going very slow for beginning sessions. The reason is that, you need to understand the basic part. If you understood the basic part, then you can easily understand the rest of the concepts actually. Okay. Any questions, guys?
No. No.
Okay. Now, I would like to talk about the variables. This is very, very important thing. Variables means names. Variables means simply names, or else identifiers. I already told you identifiers, right? Identifiers is the variable names also. It's a variable. It's a variable is identifiers is like, variable names also it is identifier, right? Okay. What is the purpose of the variables? The purpose of the variables are hold some data in memory location. Okay. Hold some data in memory location with naming convention. With name. Is it clear? That is the purpose of the variables. Variables means it's just a names. The purpose of these names are hold some kind of data in a memory locations. Okay. So in Python programming language, you don't need to be declare the variables. You can directly assign the data to the variables. You can directly assigning the data to the variables. For example, I have the variable is a, and we are assigning some kind of data is 34. Here 34 is the integer data. Data, right? And for example, b, and here we do have some kind of float data. So this is float data. So that means here we have different type of data is there. Yes or no? So simply a is holding some kind of data. I want to know that what is the memory location of a. I want to know that what it could be the memory location. For finding the memory location, we have a default function is id function. So to return the memory location, So which memory location the data it has been stored. If you want to know that particular memory location, then we can use the ID function. Okay. So in this particular memory location, the data it was stored 34 with the name of the A. That is the meaning of A equal to 34. Clear? So here variable names are, it should be followed the identifier rules. If you're not following the identifier rules, then these names could return the some kind of syntax errors. Clear?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
No. No. So when we are storing some kind of data in variables, we have different type of data are there, right? Now my question is that in Python programming language, what are the type of data members are there? What are the data types we have it? Data types in Python programming language. Okay. Data types in Python programming language. So in Python programming language, we have the total 10 data types are there. The first one is the int, and second one is the float. Third one is the complex. Fourth one is the Boolean type. Fifth one is the none type. None means nothing, no data. And sixth one is string data. Seventh one is list data. Eighth one is tuple data. Ninth one is set data. 10th one is dictionary data. So in Python programming language, we have the total 10 types of data types we have it. Okay. So dictionary, we can represent it with the curly braces. And even set also, you can represent it with the curly braces only. And tuple, we can represent it with the parenthesis, open parenthesis and closed parenthesis. List we can represent it with the square brackets. Within the square brackets, we can store any data. Coming to the string, we do have the single quotes or else double quotes, something like that. So for none type, we can represent it with the keyword is none keyword. So you can see that keywords in Python. We have the none, right? So here the none is the keyword. The purpose of the none keyword is to defining the no data. If you want to defining the no data, then we can use the none. For bool, we have the logical things like true keyword, logical true, and logical false. So here the true and the false are the keywords for defining the Boolean type of data. Okay. And coming to the complex number, so real number plus imaginary number. So imagine numbers always with J character. Okay. So if something, it could be like, J followed by the J, then that number we are calling it's the imaginary number. Combination of the real plus imaginary numbers, that we are calling it's a complex numbers. Okay. And coming to the float, it could be some kind of rational data or fractional data, right? And so integer means some kind of whole data. Whole means anything. So now we'll try to go for store some kind of data, integer data, float data, complex data, bool data, none type of data. So for example, this is integer and B is some negative number and C is 0. So here these are the three variables are holding the three different data, but these three different are the same type of data. So if you want to finding the data type, then we can use the type function. Okay. So if you want to return the data type of the any variable, then we can use the type function. Type of B, then type of C. Sorry. So the data, it could be like, 12 minus 34 and 0 only. I'm trying to be finding the data type of these three variables. Okay. So these are the three variables are the integer type of variables. And the next example is float type of data, fractional data, right? So for example, 12 point something like this, minus 34.0 or 0.0. That situation, it could be float type of data. Okay. And what is a fractional data? What is complex data? Complex means combination of the real plus imaginary. Okay. So your 12 is my real number, imaginary is 45, and 45 is our imaginary data. Minus 34 plus 7 point, you can use anything, 7.8j. Okay, 7.8 is our imaginary data. 0.0j also, it could be complex data only. Okay, so something it could have the j, then that we are calling it's the imaginary. So if the data is having the imaginary, then we are calling it's a complex type. Clear? For example, if you want to defining the logical true or boolean true, and if you want defining the boolean false, if you want to defining the no data, then we can use these three keywords. Okay, first two are the boolean type and next three are the none type. So far I'm just explaining only 5 data types. Actually, by tomorrow's session I would like to go for explaining the string data. So in string we do have a various representations are there, various limitations and characteristics are there, and various functions are there. That all the things we'll discuss by tomorrow's session. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now I would like to go for upload this document into our Canvas folder or Canvas playlist. I'm going to be creating the playlist for this particular course, and you can send me your mail IDs in the Zoom chat. Guys, if you want the recordings, you just send your mail IDs in the Zoom chat. Jaypal,
Yeah. Yeah, sent.
yeah. AIML 101. Control X. So A and ML. Okay. Publish. Okay. Only Jaypal, Ram, and Nitin only shared it. What about Karthik, Madhavi, Satya? Madhavi? So the first module is Python. Okay. I would like to check that file. Do I need to go for download this file as the HTML file format? Or else error. Yeah. Okay. Let me upload the file. Choose the file. Download, right? Okay. So if you click on this file, then it will show you that the file form, the file information. We can open this file and we can try to be executed if you want it. Okay. Fine. So you are shared your mail IDs, right? So I'm giving access. So you will get the notification from the canvas itself. And now you will get the notification from the canvas. Okay. So you can accept that invitation and set your own password. And with the help of that password and username, then we can access these recordings whenever you want it with that specific link. So canvasinstructor.com is our link. So we could have the mobile app also. You can download the canvas and we can integrate with your app and everything. So Tin, Jaipal, Ram, and Satya, Karthik. Okay. Is there anyone? Madhavi, right? What about Madhavi? Madhavi, are you there here? Madhavi? Okay, cool enough. So that's okay. Let me add it. Okay. So I added, guys. So you will get the notification from the canvas itself. Okay, you can accept the invitation. And so you can set your own password and we can access the recordings. Okay. I just uploaded only file. After some time, I can upload the even the recording also.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Take care. See you.
Thank you, Anjan. Good night.
Yeah, thank you.